Hi, I'm just going to share a little bit about what we did with the refugees in Germany. In Herrnhut and Nuremberg, both youth with a mission basis housed Ukrainian refugees. And so they not only gave them a place to stay, but they gave them meals, at least one a day, and they also had donations coming in from across the city. They provided space for people to donate clothes and items, and so there was like a store and a place for the refugees all across the city to come to the mission space to get what they need. So it's just a really cool connection. Some also hosted German classes. So that was another point where the refugees could interact with believers. It was so beautiful to see that. So I got out the art supplies, and that instantly drew the kids, mostly the little girls. And we just got to connect, make art, see what was coming out of their hearts. And one day, even the moms joined in, actually 2 days. And it was really beautiful to see the moms kind of come in and connect and come alive. And they responded so well to the art that the director of the YWAM base asked if I would be willing to pray about doing a project of creating something where they could give to the refugees as they come in and out through the store, or use it in a greater way, maybe on their trips to Ukraine. They do a lot of trips across the border to bring supplies and to support the ministries that are actually on the ground in Ukraine. And so she asked if I would be willing to pray about creating something that could help connect and potentially connect them to Jesus and help them heal and process their trauma and their stories. So I was so honored to be asked to do that, but I also saw the way the refugees came alive with the art, and they really connected and really participated. So one little girl that was 12 got all of her paintings out to show me what she had already done. And one, sadly, was a picture of a heart with a soldier in it, and there was handprints going down the painting, and just expressed a lot of pain. It expressed a lot of fear, a lot of what they're going through. And it was just, it felt really beautiful, and it felt very like a holy moment to be sitting with them in the middle of their story and create with them, to bring them joy, to bring them laughter, to honor them, but also to share in their grief and just to say, I'm sorry, and using Google Translate to just communicate that they're loved, that there is a shepherd that loves them. And the moms actually agreed to have me paint their portraits. And one had tears, and she said she would remember this forever. And she actually did a sketch of me while I was painting her. I think she was so thankful and honored that I would do this for her. And another mom wanted me to take a picture with her and her daughters. So it really moved them. It really impacted them to be seen and heard and celebrated. And I brought in my pictures of Jesus and that I've painted and gave them to them. And we gave them these little cards that were written in Ukrainian about Jesus. And you could see they were touched deeply. And I was so honored to be a person that not only could step into their story, hear a little bit about what they're going through, but also leave something lasting that could potentially help heal their hearts, connect them to Jesus, and bridge a gap that has been much needed to be bridged. This relational, religion, and cultural barrier that they've had, this challenge. So it was beautiful. I'll just tell you a couple of situations that I know of the refugees. I was able to speak to one who spoke really good English. But basically, a lot of them are just in different scenarios. So one mom that's there had been waiting 5 days to hear anything from her husband at all, if he was even alive. And at the end of the 5 days, she did hear that he was okay. And her daughters had to wait in that, 7 years old and 12 years old. And so there's so many women and children in this scenario where they don't know from one day to the next what they're going to go home to and when they'll ever get to go home. So they're getting government funding now to get new places to live, but they need to get jobs. They need to acclimate to a whole other culture and language. So there's a lot of challenges. So if you would pray with me for their hearts, where they've lost loved ones, they've left behind everything, they have nothing of their own except what they brought with them in a car or on a bus or a train. And so my heart just really went out to them. I find them to be so beautiful And it was such an honor to step into their lives for a moment. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for allowing this to happen.